Back on Sports 225 earlier in the show, Chad Durbin, 17 years as a professional baseball player. Some great comments about PEDs, Alex Rodriguez, why to throw at hitters and why not to, and staring at home runs. And Glenn, you got here after he left, so you need to make sure you watch the replays.
I will.
Go to our website, sports225.com, for all the listings and for lots of video and the Swag blog.
Okay.
You like that?
Sounds good.
Glenn Guilbeau covers LSU for the Gannett News Service, and the hook of him being here, well, he's a frequent guest. I mean, you come on at least probably once a month or so during the year, but this time of year, it had to be because he was only one of two guys who didn't vote Alabama #1, and I'm fine with it. I mean, they prove it on the field. I don't think there should be a poll this early, but I understand the interest that it generates, and that's the thing about college football, and especially in these parts where you have SEC media days around July 15th. I mean, it's been football talk for the whole time for all the people who want to do it.
Well, sure, and Alabama is a solid, safe #1 pick because they return most of a two-time national champion. Plus, they have another easy schedule in the East.
All right, so you got on that. That was such a big topic this year, and even LSU entered into it, which I was kind of surprised. I didn't think that they would actually try to carry the torch for this thing and just go with it. But what are your thoughts about the imbalanced schedule?
LSU picked up the torch on this. They've been carrying it for 2 or 3 years. What was interesting about this summer is that other schools and other media contingents who cover other schools kind of picked it up more. Mm-hmm. And it really is getting ridiculous. Of course, LSU used to complain about the schedule before they went to 16 teams, which I thought was a ridiculous argument.
Or 14 teams they have now.
Before they went from 12 to 14, because back then it was a fair schedule. Alabama played Tennessee from the East, and LSU played Florida. And for the most part, Tennessee and Florida were about the same throughout the 90s and early 2000s. You can't tell in the future when you make the schedule how the team's going to be. But see, that's what's wrong with this Band-Aid bridge schedule that they're doing now. They're doing it from year to year because they really don't know what they're doing. So they're making it up as they go. Well, if you're making it up as you go, you know who's good and who's not. You know LSU, Georgia, Florida, and Alabama are the 4 best teams. So you should make your schedule like that. LSU plays Florida every year. Alabama plays Georgia every year. That would be perfect. Be perfect for TV, but they don't want to do it. And it really looks bad. It looks like they're favoring Alabama. I mean, the average person, and if they're after viewers, would rather watch Alabama play Georgia than Alabama play my old school, Missouri, or Alabama play Kentucky, which has been their East opponents the last couple of years, or Tennessee, which has been awful for years now. So they need to fix that quick.
The one thing that I'd hate to see us lose, meaning us as viewers and followers of football, though, is the LSU-Florida game.
Oh, me too.
You could argue that the last 15 years that's been the greatest game.
It has, and that's what really loses me on the argument from Joe Oliva and from some of the media in town and from Les Miles. They don't want to play Florida. And from a objective point of view and from a conference point of view, that's the best East-West game there is. And I can tell you, the SEC office is not going to get rid of the LSU-Florida game because it's really, and it's one of the better ratings games in the last several years too. And they also played every year before they went to divisions. So I don't think that game's going anywhere unless they just change everything.
Well, that game pretty much makes the CBS schedule,
Sure.
It seems like, every year. Have you ever investigated the Vern Lundquist drinking games that are out there? Go ahead and Google that.
I love Vern. He used to do the Senior Bowl in Mobile, so I got to know him, but he's a great guy.
Well, a couple segments ago, Chad Durbin had a Happy Gilmore reference, which, of course, may have been his most famous line, "Who the hell is Happy Gilmore?" That was Vern Lundquist. But anyway, he and Gary Danielson, ho, ho, ho.
Or who the hell is Andrew Hatch? When Hatch was the starting quarterback at LSU in 08.
Did he say
People
that?
are still wondering, well, he should have if he didn't.
Andrew Hatch. That's the guy who came from Harvard and went back to Harvard?
And became the starting quarterback at LSU.
I think I have this right that...
and was not that bad.
No, but the guy who got him to come here, Gary Croton, who was the
Right.
offensive coordinator, I think I read earlier this week that he got fired as an offensive coordinator of a Canadian Football League team.
Well,
like the Edmonton Eskimos or
that's
something.
that's where he's been. I didn't realize he got fired.
I may be wrong on that, but I just have it in my memory that I saw that somewhere.
Well, it's a shame what's happened to his career because he was on a very upwardly mobile flight there, and really, he is the author of the best offense in LSU history. in 2007. When he had a quarterback, he could really make it work.
He's been well compensated, so hopefully, but he does have something like 7 children to get through school. All right, Glenn Guilbeau is here. He is a sports writer for the Gannett News Service. You can follow him at lsubeat.com or LSU Beat Tweet if you follow Twitter. And
a lot of Bama tweeters.
Yeah, I bet
Saturday
so.
morning.
Yeah. You can follow me at Lee Feinswag if you're really bored. You remember those old Miller Lite commercials with remember Marv Throneberry, and he played for the Mets, and he was in the Miller Lite commercial, and he'd go, I still don't know why they want me in this commercial, and I still don't understand why anybody care what I think.
That's not good to say as a host of a show.
Well, it's just true, But you guys, remember I got on you and Brett Martell for having to tweet every play of a Saints practice. It might have been the first Saints practice, and you guys were out there, because I followed the both of you. Brett Martell from the AP, great guy, and you're tweeting every single play from
Well,
practice.
I didn't tweet every single play, but I was tweeting some plays. But
Yeah.
Well,
Just Shoot Me came to mind a couple times.
Yeah, and the Picayune, they've got so many freaking people covering the Saints. They got like 6 guys tweeting the same thing.
That'd be
I started tweeting about them.
NOLA.com to you.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk nuts and bolts LSU football after we get back, all right?
Okay.
Because it just dawned on me as I started thinking about it. The LSU-TCU game's a really big game and not a gimme.
Oh, no. A lot of people here think it's a gimme, but it's not.
It's not. He's Glenn Guilbeau. I'm Lee Feinswag. This is Sports 225, and we'll be right back.